Hey, it's Darren Lee. Leonard Williams.
This is Justin Burris.
Jason McDougal here. Doug Middleton.
Darren Roberts. So you're watching NYJFTV.
You're watching NYJFTV. You're watching NYJFTV. You're watching NYJFTV.
Go Jets.
Go Jets.
But it feels so empty without me. So come on and dip, bum on your lips, jump back, jiggle a hip and wiggle a bit and get ready. This is about to get heavy. I just settled all my lawsuits. You did it. Now this looks like a job for me. So everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty.
Oh, Jet Nation, that's a big win, man. Fans showed up spectacular, man. Stadium was out there rocking tonight. Just appreciate y'all, boy. Man, want to say a special thanks to Fireman Ed for showing up the way he did, man. Had that crowd on hype. And anytime that crowd like that, it make it easy and fun for us to go out there and play.
Vision is scary, can start a revolution, polluting the airwaves, a rebel. So just let me revel and bask in the fact that I got everyone kissing my and it's a disaster. Such a catastrophe for you to see so damn much of my you ask for me. Well, I'm back. Fix your minutes and I'm tuning in and I'm gonna enter in and up under your skin like a splinter. The center of attention, back for the winner, I'm interesting. The best things in wrestling, investing in your kids' ears and nesting. Testing, attention please. Feel the tension, soon as someone mentions me. Here's my 10 cents, my 2 cents is free. A nuisance, who sent? You sent for me? Now this looks like a job for me. So everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. I said this looks like a job for me. So everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me.
Man, what's up everybody and welcome to another episode of NYJFTV. I'm one of your hosts, Kevin Sirkin, here with the man of the week, Fireman Ed, and former Jets wideout, Rob Carpenter, ready to discuss the Jets' 34-21 win over the Bills Thursday night. And I'm sure if you weren't at the game, you heard it nice and loud on TV. The Jets had a huge assist from the man in the stands, Fireman Ed, who was breaking out the Jets chants and the defense chants the entire game. So Ed, first off, dude, I think I speak for a lot of the diehard fans who still tough it out going to these games every week that just want to say thank you for creating that moment Thursday night. You definitely took me back to my youth and really just brought back some great memories from a time where I used to live for you rocking the house like that. And I think more importantly for the new fans, the young fans, you gave them a taste of what it used to be like and how you create a home field advantage. Nobody gets it going like you do, and it was just an honor to be sitting there next to you for it. So Ed, share your story with our viewers. How did this all happen? When did you realize you were going to get it rocking?
Well, thank you for those words, Kev. I appreciate it. You know, we've talked in the past, and, you know, I thank you for that. Listen, my life, I've always lived emotion, man. It's all about emotion. Always has been, not just the Jets. It's just the way I've lived my life. You know, I couldn't even tell you because what happened was I didn't have my helmet, so it wasn't planned. Have I felt like that in the past during games? Because I've been at every game since I stopped being Fireman Ed. You know, people, you'll hear all the speculation, but this is really not true. Anybody that knows me knows I've been to every game. Just been a little more low key, that's all. As far as, you know, the emotion, you know, I think it was 10-7, and I just I don't know. I just seen something that I just said, you know what? I can't take this. And I went down the stairs. Really, I just looked at the crowd on the right, and the people recognized me. I was very fortunate for that. I mean, I can't believe it. I mean, they just went crazy. They went nuts. And I went to the left, the same thing, and we got a couple of chants out there, and they were louder than I thought they would be. And the next thing I knew, I was on a screen. The next time, it was all a blur, really, honestly, because when I lost it, because it was just spur of the moment, it was just reaction. I wanted us to win. I just seen that. I seen those young guys. I seen what was happening there, and I just said, you know what? I got to do something. I just got to do something. I couldn't help myself. I'm being honest with you. That's the way it was. And fortunately for me, I'm very blessed. I'm lucky that the fans support me the way they did. I was overwhelmed. Actually, I was honored and humbled by the reaction. I actually got chills, from the crowd itself, the way they reacted. So it was like I said, whether the haters or whoever's out there doesn't believe that, that's okay. But I know how I felt. I know I lived my life in emotion. I want to thank the fans for listening to me and for going with that chant with me. I want to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart. It touched me that night. I can't tell you, but you can't relive those moments. They just happen. I'm glad I could make a difference. I think the fans made the difference in reality, not me. I just was the leader to do that. And I think we did get to the players. I think we did make a difference. I seen them, the way they reacted. And, it was an honor. It truly was an honor.
It was definitely an honor to be there for it and to have you back. And the one question that we've been getting asked every single day on social media since it happened, and I figured you want to address it right away, are you now back full time?
No, I'm not back full time. I could never do that week in and week out. What we found out on that night was that place could be electric, and I think we should throw our support at those two kids, Scotty and Jetman. They're trying their best. They're trying to lead that chant. They're there week in and week out. I give my support to them. I make sure that I'm always up when they are. And I think we should do that for them, and that's the way I feel. As far as the future, I can't tell you what the future is. I've been on this show and I've told you, never say never. I'm not, the one thing I know, I'm not paid by the Jets. That I do know. I don't get anything from anyone. So this just strictly emotion and the love for the Jets. I love them. I'll always love them. I'll go to my death loving them. I have them on my arm. I mean, I can't love them enough. I love the green and white, and I love the fan base. I think we're so underrated, our fan base. I think our fan base is the greatest fan base. Everybody says the same thing, but I know what we've gone through, where we've been wayward souls. We've had no home for years, and yet we're always still there. We're always still there. And the day that we raise that Lombardi trophy, it'll be a great day. And I hope to be a part of it. But I first want to raise that Lamar Hunt trophy in our house for the AFC Championship. That means we're going to the Super Bowl. That's my I hope and pray. That's my goal. I want to see that happen for the fan base itself. But as far as me coming back every week, that's not going to happen. It's just not. So, but I thank the fans for supporting me throughout it. If you hate me after that, I'm not coming back. I'm sorry. But I did it for 30 years. I did it for almost 30 years, 28 years. If you want to count, go look, you'll see. I started in 86. So, I think I earned the right to come back if I wanted to. And I thank you guys for that. I truly do. I'm honored.
I can attest. I was there. I saw it live on the field. So, Ed, you've been doing it for a long time. But the one thing that you do know, what you saw in the clip, the players appreciate it. because, as Demario Davis said, when you're on the field and your home fans are behind you, especially the defensive guys like to hear the noise. Defensive guys like to hear all that. It gets them even more hyped. So you saw it in the play, and even the greatest video that went around since the game was over was the dance-a-thon that the Jets had. So that's probably been the greatest video in Twitter history, or up there. So defensive guys love it, man. And as far as us offensive guys go, we like to stay them a little more quiet, but once we start making plays, you guys get behind us, and we appreciate that too. So like I said, the players definitely appreciated what you've done over all these years. So
thank you.
The diehard fans are going to get behind you regardless. So yeah, and you saw it Thursday night. The fans who are real diehard, once you started, they followed right along. And that's just what it is, man. Everybody else is out here trying to, nitpick at all of the BS that had gone over the past few years. Man, forget all of that stuff.
Appreciate it.
So, guys, believe it or not, there was actually a game to discuss. We're going to get to that a little bit later in the show. Also, we have Ryan Fitzpatrick to briefly talk about. But first, we have a whole bunch of people that I want to thank you and have some questions. So first up, I think this guy has a first name, but I don't even remember it. We only refer to him as Intern. So
that's the young blood.
Oh, yeah. Greg, what's going on, man? This is Kevin, Rob, and Ed. How you doing
tonight? Good, man.
What's up, Greg?
So my question is directed to Fireman Ed. Now, I know you said you're not coming back full time, but tomorrow's my 23rd birthday, and all I want is for you to rock the house one more time for the 5-5 New York Jets coming home to play Carolina Panthers in November.
Never say never, my friend. Never say never.
Well, thank you again. The place is rocking on Thursday. Best game I've been to in like 5 years, man. I can't thank you.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, my
Thanks,
man.
bro.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ed.
Definitely. Happy
You
birthday,
know I
Greg.
love you.
Enjoy your birthday, Greg. We appreciate you calling in, dude. Good talking to you. All right, so next up, going right along, we have Louie. Our good friend Louie. I haven't talked to him in a while. Get him on here. Think we lost Lou.
Lost Louie.
All right, well, we got one more in reserve, and we got, I believe it's Robbie coming up next. See if we can get him on here.
Oh, what's up?
Robbie, what's going on, man? How you
Robbie.
doing?
Hey,
Robbie's
what's up?
faithful.
What's going on? Hey, I just wanted to say one thing. I don't even have a question, man. I grew up in the Meadowlands. I used to go to Meadowlands, Generals, Cosmos. Obviously, the Jets is the biggest time. I grew up 5 miles from there, man. I'm gonna tell you one thing. Thursday night was a real throwback Thursday, man. Thank you, Ed. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. You rocked the Meadowlands, man. I remember in the '80s when it just got started, and actually, I was a volunteer fireman for 14 years. So when you first started doing it, we saw the hat, and our whole little fire squad was like, "Yo, all pumped up." And look, man, I'm just pumped and want to say thank you, and I don't want to waste any of your time. J-E-T-S, Jet. I'm out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you very
calling,
much. Thank you.
And one of the things that I keep saying, and, Tyson on Let's Talk Jets, he referenced in Friday night. I know Jay has said it a bunch of times. The thing that was so awesome was, I've got to see it. Jay's got to see it. We've all experienced what you do and how you rock that place. I think the most important thing was for the new generation that haven't experienced it, that have been going to games for the last couple of years, haven't really had a whole lot to cheer about. You gave them a reason to cheer Thursday night, and that was definitely special.
You know what the one thing I can tell you, and I say this often in the parking lot or wherever, all the young blood, I always talk to the young blood because that's how I started. I was a young blood. I was 15, 16 years old, man, and I just loved them. I grew to love them. My stupid brother got me starting with the Jets, and I got crazy. I just got more and more nutty as the years went on. And when I see these young guys, I always tell them, "You my inspiration. You make me want to do this. You make me want to come back. You make me want to rock the house." Because when I see I know that love and that passion for the game. And you can't replace that. You cannot replace that. That's what makes life so great, is that you just live on emotion. That's what emotion is about. You can't make that up. That's you either have that or you don't have it. And, you know, I thank Lord that he's given me that emotion to be able to do that. So, you know, the young blood, man. Love him.
All right, going back to Louis really quick. We lost connection there, but he did want to ask you exactly what you thought about his spoof commercial of the NFL shop with the kid opening up the Odell Beckham jersey.
I loved it. I can't stand that commercial. You know, I can't stand that commercial. You know, but you know what? It's funny. We get abused for Odell Beckham. Look what's happening. Look what's happening. Say no more. Look what's happening. Shh. Let it shut up. Let it play
All right,
out.
I'm sure we have a lot more questions for you throughout the show. Shifting over to the game really quick, we finally saw a complete 60 minutes of football, something that we've talked about for a while. They stopped the run. They ran the football, also forced some big turnovers. What was your big impression from this game?
For me, you just said it. It was a 60-minute game. We haven't seen that all season. So, and we've been talking about that for weeks. These guys need to play a full 60-minute game. They need to, when they have a lead in the fourth quarter, they need to learn to close it out. They got a little shaky there with a little 4 minutes to go in the game when Austin dropped that onside kick. But, Buffalo went down the score, and they actually finally did close it out. Final score wasn't indicative of what the butt whooping was, but and we've also been talking about it for weeks now. Also, the running game. They got the running game going. And Bilal Powell taking off. Matt Forte actually even scored 2 touchdowns, so he looked a little shifty. He doesn't have the blazing speed like Powell and McGuire, but Matt can make guys miss still. He's not going to take it 50 or 60 yards, but he can get you, 20 or 30 here and there. And those move the chains. That's all basically you can ask for him right now. But the big play guys, we know Powell and McGuire. And when the running game is going, you see what happens in the passing game. Defenses have to step a little closer to the line of scrimmage. And with the speed like Robbie Anderson on the outside, he's just running by guys. So, it was fun to watch, man. I'm not even lying. It was real fun to watch. On the other side of the ball, the defense was flying around. And that's all you can ask. Those guys played all 60 minutes. The defense was just out there. Demario Davis probably, hit so many guys Thursday night. He needed that rest. He needed these 10 days before this next game. Jenkins, Leonard Williams, Mo Wilkerson, Jamal, May, Lee. These guys are all over the place, man. And it really, really, really was fun to watch. When you sat there, even me not being in the stadium, at that time, me sitting there watching the game on TV, I was just excited as you guys actually, in the stadium. I could feel the vibe in the stadium because the defense was just flying around, man. That's the one thing that we thought was going to happen from the very beginning of the season. But it's nice to see now that they actually, it seems like everybody's really getting healthy right now. I'm sure this little mini break that they had before Tampa on Sunday, did them well also, got them to heal a little more. So hopefully these guys can stay healthy for the rest of the season, man. And, just play lights out like that.
I'll tell you what, Rob, you're so right. It's so refreshing. But, think about it, fellas. We've been talking about for 4 years, we've been waiting for this defense. They've been young, waiting for them to, and now we're filling more young guys in these last 3 years. And maybe this is the actual crew that we're going to actually get a top caliber defense, because I don't think they know how good they could be. And I think Todd Bowles said that. He says they can go to shift to another year. Did you hear him say that? He said they could shift to another year. And I really think that they can. They're just starting to see what they're able to do. And they're very close. You could see they're tight from the video or them all dancing. That was, it's so refreshing. Jet Nation, it's so refreshing to see for a change that we actually are seeing a Jet video of something positive rather than negative. I haven't seen a Jet video with the team where it was either the butt fumble, it was this, it was that. We were constantly getting ridiculed. maybe this is the start of something big. We have to hold on to something. Why not that night? Maybe that's the start of something big. We'll see. But we talked about before the game, running the ball, stopping the run. Shady McCoy had to stop Shady. Got to stop Shady. Keep Tyrod Taylor in the pocket. They shadowed him. It was beautiful seeing the opening play. You got Jenkins sacking him. That set the tone. They wound up with 7 sacks. I mean, we've been talking about this. No pass rush. Very refreshing. It's one game, but I'll tell you what. This is the time of year. Rob, you notice you played the game. This is the time of year. We're going to come on a 10th game of the year, okay? This is the time of year where teams start to either become contenders or pretenders. And you start to see, it starts to, teams start to gel. You start to see what's going to happen with these teams. Of course, health has a lot to do with things, but knock on wood, we're starting to get a little healthy now. We're going to we got a nice span of 10 days off before we play Tampa Bay. Then we got a bye week. We got 2 more weeks. So it's sitting nice. We got to take care of business down in Tampa. We got Fitzy down there. He's going to be looking to beat us. I don't care who's playing, who's not playing. They shouldn't be going into that game. They should be going into that game like they did with Buffalo. We got to beat them. We don't care who's on the field. It doesn't matter who's on the field. Play the game, play your game, and we'll win the game. But the Jets Thursday night showed a potential of what they can be. We're going to find out. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid totally right now, but I like what I'm seeing, and I love the young blood. The theme of the show today is the young blood, man. It's all about the young blood.
The one thing we do know from the very beginning of the season, the defense has been stopping the run. So we can pretty much hang our hats on that. It doesn't really matter who we play. I'm pretty confident that the run defense is going to be there week in and week out. It's just going to be able to get the pass defense to come right along with the run defense. So, but as these guys get healthy, like I said, Mo's getting healthy. It seems like Leonard is getting healthy because we know those guys are playing hurt in the very beginning of the season. Jenkins is coming off the corner strong now. Even when Lee comes off the corner in those spot pass rushes, he's getting there because he's using that speed and he can come off the corner super fast, man. And he drops his shoulder and he gets there. But it's just going to be hopefully the pass defense catches up with the run defense pretty fast. And once December gets here, man, we all know if teams can't run the ball, it's time to air it out, and that's when the pass rush can let loose. So hopefully these guys do it for the rest of this month. December comes around, man. It's going to be pretty fun to watch.
There's a couple things that are going unnoticed. McCown is throwing the ball down the field, and he's accurate. Yeah. He's throwing the ball down the field. Now, that's a remedy. When you can throw the ball down the field and be accurate. I mean, I seen a statistic, anything over 20 yards, he's like one of the tops in the league. He's right up there. That makes the defense, you gotta be honest. You can't, there's no stack in the box. You stack the box, they're telling you we'll beat you. Got Robbie Anderson, you got Kurz. These guys all could beat you. And that's a beautiful thing because that helps the running game. That helps the running game. Now, look at these tight ends. What about this? Oh, can we give some props to this Eric Tomlinson? We got to give some props to number 83. We got to give this guy some props. He's not a mirage. This is in your program. Number 83 is in your program. We got to look at him. He blocks. Listen, there's a lot of good things going on there. Sefrin Jenkins. Listen, I expect Sefrin Jenkins to have a big game this week. He's going back down to Tampa. They cut him. He deserved to get cut, but look what he's turned his whole life around. Okay? So this is there's a lot of things as Jet fans, there's a lot to be excited about. McCown throwing the ball down the field. That's beautiful. We couldn't. That was our problem. I remember Rob saying last year with Fitz, that was one of the problems. He couldn't get the ball down the field. Rob used to always say that. Well, this guy's not having any problem getting down a field. So, you know.
The one thing McCown does, if you really watch it, when he takes his drop and he's throwing a deep ball, he takes his drop, he hits his back foot, he lets it go. He doesn't hold it. So he picks out and he reads who's winning at the line of scrimmage, because most of the time that's what you see. These guys are up in press coverage. So whether Curse is getting pressed or Robbie's getting pressed, I'm super, 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 excited about what I see Robbie doing. He's, the way he wins at the line of scrimmage right now, he doesn't get touched, man. So once he wins within that 5 yards, he's gone. McCown takes his drop, back foot, he lets it go, and it's on the money. So the quicker you can get the ball down the field like that to receivers like that, the less time the safety has to get over there. So the safety doesn't know where he's going with the ball, in the middle of his drop. He gets back there, he hits his back foot, and poof, the ball is out. It's a win, and these guys can make plays. So that's the one great thing that McCown is doing right now when you see him throwing the deep ball. He's not holding the ball, he just lets it go.
I'll tell you, those workouts he had with Chad Johnson in the offseason, Ocho Cinco. Ocho Cinco was, I follow him on Twitter. He was talking about Robbie Anderson in the summertime because they were down working out for a long time. He says, watch out for Robbie Anderson this year. He's going to be a different receiver. Ocho Cinco said that.
He actually was on, I believe, CBS Sports. And he mentioned it, but he was also talking about Robbie last year as a rookie. So he said he's going to be one of those guys that is going to make a lot of waves in the NFL. And then when he went down with him this offseason, he got markedly better. But Chad actually mentioned that, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was CBS where he said Robbie's going to be one of the top guys in the NFL this year, and he's correct.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, so guys, we got a whole bunch of questions pouring in. So let's get right to it. We've got John Ryan, who just wants to say, Ed, you the man. That was an awesome reminder of the good old days Thursday night. And then Bruce Reeder, it's cut and dry. Ed, the stadium needs you.
Bruce. That's Bruce Reeder. Bruce is a man. Bruce is the guy that carried me after my brother. I love Bruce. Bruce, a great guy. I hope his family's well. Thank you, Bruce. I love you, bro. I haven't seen you in a while, but I don't forget what you did for me. I never forget that. We had some good times, bro. Give your best to your uncles and your family.
All right, our next question comes from Maurizio Petruzella, who wants to know what you guys thought about the Rashard Robinson trade.
I think it's a good one. For the most part, the new blood in the defensive backfield, and I think Bowles is looking for that, man. Like we've talked about in the past few weeks, he likes to play man-to-man defense because he likes to get after the quarterback, especially in those passing situations. So he's looking for those guys that actually can cover, and I think Robinson is actually one of those guys that can do it. Now he's had problems with penalties with holding, but if he can get that corrected, I think he's probably going to be one of the guys that we see on the field a lot.
LSU's in the house. I know Jamal Adams was real happy that they signed a boy from LSU. I don't know enough about him. I'm not going to sit here and try, but I do know one thing: his build. He's tall and lanky. I like those guys. I just like those guys, man. They cover a lot of ground when they're tall and lanky like that. Once again, Antonio Cromartie, like the kid Derek Jones that we have from the 6th round. I want to see that kid get on the field. It'd be nice if we get a bunch of these young guys playing. But I know Jamal Adams got all pumped up. LSU's in the house.
DBU.
That's it.
All right, next up we got Steven Dobek, who says, I was ready to give up on Mo Wilkerson, but he's really showed up the past few weeks. Props to him. Thoughts on Mo?
Love it. Hey, listen, I bashed him. Rob's been saying he was hurt. He's been hurt. I gotta give it up to Rob. Rob said, Ed, he's hurt. My thing was, if he's hurt, get him the F out of the game. He ain't helping us. Let one of the young guys go in and play. But they're paying him so much money, the whole bit. We go into that whole act. Anyway, I love it. I want to see him be a leader. We paid him for that. We didn't pay Snacks. We got rid of Sheldon. He's the guy. if he's the guy, let him be the guy. I want him to be the guy. I'll be the first one. I'll jump right on him. I love him. I get mad at him when he doesn't play. That's the problem, but I'm glad. I'm happy. Rob, you were right.
Yeah, we see what happens now that he's getting healthy, man. And these next 2 weeks are going to be great because I believe he can, get even more rest and get even, even healthier. And the whole D-line can get healthy now, man. So it's going to be fun to watch these guys for the rest of the season.
Oh, man, I'm excited.
All right, next up, we got Phil Rodriguez. Was anybody else as impressed as I was with Matt Forte? Play like a Jet. Where did this come from?
Same thing with him. Matt's been a little banged up, but I think he sees what the younger guys can do. So Matt knows he's had to pretty much step up his game, man. And it's tough when you're a running back and your biggest asset is your legs, and you're hurt, whether it's ankle or knee. He's healthy now, and like I said, that rainy game. I don't know if you guys saw my tweets, but I said Matt Forte is probably going to be the best running back on the field because he's not the fastest guy on the field, but he's the shiftiest guy, and his feet under him, and he was the guy making everybody missed. But he, like I just said, he's not going to take it 50 or 60 to the house, but on big plays he'll get you 20, 30, and that keeps the chains moving, and he'll make guys miss in space. But I think he's healthy now, and he's not going to be the home run hitter, but he'll help.
See, that's where he's what I notice about him, and he's great at, is the shiftiness. Like when he gets into space, he makes guys miss. The problem is he's not the Bilal Powell where he hits the hole in a hurry and makes things happen that way. He's more you create things and then he can make more things happen from that. And what he's doing now, I mean, he gets out in space. I mean, he still got something left because he's hungry. I mean, just that play in the Miami game on third down, I think it was 3rd and 14, 3rd and 16. Yeah, I mean, that was the will. That was the will to win. That's the will to win. That reminded me of Braylon Edwards when he took the Patriots into the end zone in the playoff game. That's the will to win. He can't be stopped.
Yeah.
All right, and our final question comes from Jim DeLapp, who wants to know if McCown plays well the rest of the year, if the Jets will re-sign him.
1,001, a no-brainer. And I think he wants to come back. And I think he wants to come back no matter what they do. No matter if they sign a free agent, if they sign Kirk Cousins or they signed Alex Smith or they draft they go up in the draft and get somebody, I think there's still McCown's going to be on his team. That's my opinion. I don't know about you, Rob. I think he's found the home and he wants to be here. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him retire after it playing. He becomes one of the coaches on the team with Todd Bowles. Wouldn't surprise me.
I was literally just going to say that. I'm not going to be surprised at all if he resigns after the season, like you just said, Ed, whether the Jets sign one of the top free agent QBs, Kirk Cousins, Alex Smith, somebody, or even drafts one of the guys in the first round. I believe he'll sign another 1-year deal, come back, probably take it through training camp if he can. And if it turns out that they do sign one of the top free agent quarterbacks, that he actually does retire and stays on the staff, probably as a QB's coach. So, or in that realm. So I'm not gonna be surprised if he stays here or not. But I do believe he'll probably resign after the season for another 1-year deal.
The way he's playing this year, I mean, I would think that they're going to have him as at least the backup next year. The way he's playing, I mean, he's playing his best football in his career. He's the first one to say it. He's playing his, and there's something to be said for that, guys. When they're comfortable, that's it. They, especially a journeyman like that that's been all over the place. He finds a home. He ain't gonna be so quick to be leaving. He hasn't played like this since he was in Chicago. So, and he played pretty good there. And he's comfortable here. You can see it. He's comfortable with the surroundings. He's comfortable with the team, comfortable with the organization in general. So, And I
that
think
makes
the
guy
guy
play
and
well.
the young guys love him.
I
The young
believe
guys
that as
love
well.
him. Yeah, those young guys on defense, I think they love him. They love him.
All right, so guys, we're going to get into Jets Bucks a whole lot more on Thursday night. But really quickly, I just got to ask you this. I got to get your thoughts on this. It's been all over social media whether or not the Jets are truly in the hunt. And I know you guys touched on it a little bit before, but this game on Sunday, is this actually a must-win game for the rebuilding Jets, or is there no such thing in a rebuilding year?
Must win? I don't think it's a must win, but if they actually are, which I know the players are looking for it to actually get into the playoffs. Winning this game Sunday definitely puts them right in the middle of the playoff picture. So because as I was talking to Ed about this a little earlier, you look around the AFC and teams are going to be knocking each other off. The AFC West, those guys are going to be battling it out, and the team everybody thought was going to run away with the AFC West is now struggling, Kansas City. Everybody knows the Patriots are going to be there, but I think the only other team that's basically a lock right now is Pittsburgh. So it's a toss up for everybody else, and it just could be right there, right in the middle of the hunt. After Sunday if they get this win.
I'll tell you what I seen on Thursday night is a hungry team, and a team. Todd Bowles said it correctly when he said they can go to another gear. They have another gear, and there's no question. Now, whether they go to that other gear, when that will happen, that's part of being a young team. But the more confidence, I think that Thursday night game was a confidence builder for this team big time. And through the years watching football, this is the time of year when teams start to make their move. And if these kids have it, I expect them to go down there. And I wouldn't care if Jameis Winston was playing. I wish he was playing, because I think this team, no, I do. I think this team is capable of winning on the road. They've shown they can. They're in every game since the first 2 games of the year. They're in every game. So there's no reason to believe that they shouldn't go down there and win that game. I believe that they have a good shot at winning that game down there. We're going to find out. But they're playing well in that, and I think they're gaining confidence. And I think Bowles sees it.
I think everybody sees it. Everybody sees they got a lot of confidence going right now.
Yep.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us. Great show, guys. Great talking to you. Thursday night, 8 o'clock, tune in. We'll be talking Jets Bucks. All right, talk to you guys then.
Thank you to everybody.